Uh, how about this? I know you wanted to just touch on some news, right, today a
Sounds
little
good.
bit. How
Yeah.
about this one? I
All
mean,
right. What's going on?
I think Afghanistan is just a bad decision by Biden, right? I think he did not do this well. We
Well, I
want to give
mean,
him the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, look, I mean, you know how many Americans are in Afghanistan? I was astounded when I heard this figure. 10 to 15,000 US citizens in Afghanistan. And there are like 2,500 who have been evacuated as of now.
civilians?
Civilians.
Well, I mean,
Civilians or otherwise. I'm not sure exactly civilians. A lot of them are civilians. 10 to 15,000. I was just that was number was extremely astounding for me.
yeah, but I mean, Trump was the one who actually started,
Yeah, he did start that. No, you're right. You're right. He did start that. I
and
know. And Biden was trying to kind of continue that.
okay, so Trump started, so that was last year, right? That was last year. I mean, I can't remember when, but let's say it was at the end of the year. Let's say it was in December of last year. Okay,
Mm-hmm,
it's
mm-hmm.
been at least 8 months. I mean, I know it
Yeah.
takes time to move, but you're in a war. You're in a war zone. You're in a country that's fighting a civil war. The idea that you may have to
Well,
pack up and get out.
starting to fight a civil war. I mean, I think it will go there.
It has
I
been a
think
civil
it,
war.
you know,
That's what we. I mean, we've been. The Taliban
I
are.
don't think that's a war though. No one's actually fighting. I mean, the Taliban are just coming in and kind of taking over, right?
Yeah, because the Afghans left over without America there, know that they're going to get their butts kicked.
They,
So
they,
it's like,
they kind
okay,
of
we give up.
gave up.
We give
Yeah,
up.
they kind of just
We give
gave
up.
up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
crazy, right?
the point is, I mean, we had troops over there. I mean, we had a couple thousand, 2,500 or whatever troops that were killed. We've been fighting over there. We've been bombing over there. It was basically a war zone. And if you're whatever
Mm-hmm.
you are, if you're a citizen, you're a citizen over there for whatever purpose, you got to have in the back of your mind that you may have to pick up and get out of there on relatively short notice. And this hasn't been all that short a notice. They've known for at least 6 months.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I mean, you would have thought that people would have gotten geared up to get out. You're right, and get to the
Exactly.
airport, or
If they
would have
didn't,
escaped by now.
I have as
I
much
think they were
sympathy.
they were relying on the military to help them get out of there, right? And of course, look what happened. So
No, 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 no. You don't. That's not the military is not supposed to be your first plan. The military is your backup, right?
yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah,
So I mean, I
I
have
think
about as
they
much
weren't thinking
sympathy for.
that though.
Yeah, I have about as much sympathy for them as people that choose not to get vaccinated. I mean, fine, okay, that's your choice.
Hmm.
You decide you're
Hmm.
going to
Hmm.
stay in Afghanistan until the last minute, as long as you can. Okay, well, then you face the risk. You're going to not get vaccinated. Okay, you face the risk. That's
Then you
fine.
face the risk. Yeah, I mean, certainly they are facing risks now. They can't get to the airport. They can't get in the airport, even if they're there, right?
Yep.
Uh, and even even U.S. citizens are being told that they can't come into the airport, right? But no, you're right. I mean, they're waiting to the last minute. What do they expect?
Yeah, that I
Yeah,
just can't understand. I mean, that's like, again, it's like there's a typhoon coming. The weatherman tells you, for 3 days or a week before the typhoon hits that there's a typhoon coming. I mean, if you decide, you live on this nice beachfront property, and you love the view and you want to have the view until the last minute and you stay out there and then you get
yeah,
trapped out there. Well, hey, that was your choice. I mean, fine. I'm
yeah.
not saying that you shouldn't have done that, but I'm saying don't bitch about it if you get caught out there. I mean, that's what happens.
That's what people do. I know it's astounding, isn't it? It's funny, right? They do that. They don't want to leave, right? They don't heed the warnings. They stay there. They think it's going to all blow over very peacefully. They don't see the threat, right? They don't
Right.
see the future of what could happen, right?
Yeah.
And they just stay there and they think it's all going to blow over peacefully. This is exactly what's happening in Afghanistan, right? They think it's all going to be over soon, or they'll be taken care of and whisked up to safety at the last minute, right? Uh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't think like that, and I wouldn't trust that. Yeah, no
No,
way.
no, me
It's a
either.
foreign country. I mean, gosh, look, Yeah, it's scary. It's really scary. I heard, where was it? I heard, I think it was Japanese news this morning of how an American woman was trying to flee, and her daughter or something, I believe, a relative, was trampled to death. Did you hear that story? And killed like right before her eyes.
Wow. No, I
That
didn't
was
hear
that
that.
was nuts, right? I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. So that doesn't sound good. What are you watching or listening to over there, Dan?
Wait, no, I'm still trying to figure out how to get my sound effects to work. I can't figure it out. Well.
Okay. So I just wanted to share this brief little thing here. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's in the news recently, right? This Biden thing. That's all.
Operation from Kabul, but warns of
Yeah.
ongoing danger. Yeah.
Incredible
I mean,
operation from Kabul. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Biden said like a few months ago, if he asked if he foresaw any of this happening, and he said, no, no, they're all trained. There's 300 forces there. We've trained them well. They'll be able to defend themselves. Yeah. And well, we all know what happened there.
right. Okay,
So
so Biden overestimated the ability of the Afghans to take care of themselves, and that was his
yeah.
mistake, but I mean, again, I just go back to the point, the fact that these, why would you believe Biden? He's only been in office for a few months. He doesn't really know what's, I mean.
Well, yeah, I know he doesn't really know. That leads me to wonder, why did he try to follow on this footstep on this path already? At first, anyway, right?
Yeah.
Why did he try to continue that? I mean, just for me, it just doesn't make sense.
Well,
he didn't look into it. He didn't look. I guess.
I mean, part of it is, we've been over there. America's been in Afghanistan for 20 years now, and nothing's come of it. The only benefit has been to the people that are selling the weapons. Because so it's. I mean, it just makes sense that we had to get out of there. How long are you going to stay?
Yeah, eventually. Right. How long can you stay? I know. It's true. How long can you stay? Is 20 years enough?
Yeah.
But if it's not 20 years, then 30, 40 years, who knows,
Yeah. I mean, I can't fault Biden at all. I mean, I think that he was right to get out of there. I mean, this is Bush's mess. Bush is the one that got us in there, and so we're still cleaning up Bush Jr.'s mess there.
Yeah, it certainly is Bush's mess. And I didn't agree with that.
No.
At first, all those years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, when he first went in, we hardly knew about it. All the news was in Iraq, and so they kept us distracted with Iraq while they opened up the war in Afghan, kind of on the down low.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, but
Bush was the shady one.
Yeah, but I can't fault Biden. I mean, somebody was going to take the fall. Somebody was going to have to, make the hard choice and get us out of there, because it had to be done sometime.
I think it had to be done sometime. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. It's true. So as far as the Philippines are concerned, when did the U.S. go to the Philippines, and when did they leave the Philippines? What was that all about?
Well, I mean,
you're half Filipino, so you should.
Right. Yeah.
No,
well, I mean, they got into the Philippines because of the Spanish-American War, right?
Yeah, right.
So we kicked Spain's tushy, and then Spain said, well, all right, how about the Philippines? You want the Philippines? We'll sell it to you, on the cheap, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so so that's what they did. Basically, they sold it to America, and and then the Philippines, when America beat Spain, the Philippines was actually counting on America to do the right thing and make them independent, right? And then when America said, well, no, I think we're gonna control you guys.
Not quite so fast,
right?
Right. And we'll go in there to Clark, and we'll,
Yeah.
we'll slide into Clark and, make that our base.
Yeah.
And Clark is a really cool place. I mean, it really is a nice area.
Let's see. What does it say here? In 1898, the Spanish-American War began and reached Philippines.
Thank you.
Aguinaldo resumed the revolution and declared independence from Spain on June 12th, 1898. The first Philippine Republic was established on January 21st, 1899. Okay, so the Philippines declared independence from Spain. Okay, when the Spanish and Americans were fighting. Okay, and then. But the islands had been ceded by Spain to the United States alongside Puerto Rico and Guam as a result of America's victory in the Spanish-American War.
Yeah.
So it became clear that the United States would not recognize the first Philippine Republic. Like I said, so the Philippine-American War broke out, right? So yeah, we get done, fighting with the Spaniards, and so okay, it's time to fight the Filipinos, right? Because we don't want to give them up, even though there's
we're America.
Right,
we love fighting.
I mean, if they just been a little bit clever,
mellow,
a little bit clever,
a little bit more clever.
What they would have done is, said, okay, we recognize that you're an independent nation, right? But hey, you guys are young, you guys are weak. Like, we're gonna take you under our wing, right? So all we need, from you is a little bit of space on some of your islands there, for us to put our, park a few ships and airplanes and so on. And then, by doing that, you'll be under the umbrella. We'll be able to take care of you. Right. If they would have just done that, Philippines would have seen that as reasonable because they didn't. I mean, they really wouldn't.
I thought that's what they kind of did do. No. I mean, they kind of looked out for him and they kind of did give him that land area.
So the Philippines between whatever it was 1899 or whatever and 19 whatever's they were like Puerto Rico or Guam.
Yeah, there's a territory, right?
Right, they're a territory of the United States, right? But that's not what the Philippines wanted. The Philippines wanted to be independent. Okay, so like I said, America could have done the same thing with them that they've done with other places. Like we did with Japan after World War II. Said, hey, we kicked your ass,
right?
And you're kind of down on your luck now, so we'll come in here and help build you up, and we'll protect you and so on. We'll keep the Soviets off your ass. All you got to do is, kiss our ass for a few decades and everything will be cool. Give us a space and
right. So the period of American colonization of the Philippines lasted 48 years from the cessation of the Philippines to the U.S. by Spain in 1898, as you said, to U.S. recognition of Philippine independence in 1946. But they remained there for a long time after that, didn't they?
Right.
Until for like another 40 or 50 years, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was in the.
Let me check this.
Yeah. It was in the 70s or 80s before America finally pulled their bases out of there.
Oh, wow. I think, right. 1992. What was that? No.
92?
The last U.S. forces departing on November 24th, 1992. Wow.
Huh.
I did not know that. That's a really long time, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That just goes to show. I mean, and of course, the U.S. forces are still in Japan, still in Korea, Guam. They have right because it's an American territory, right? We're in the Philippines. Yeah. So it's interesting, dude. I hate to say, man, I got to run.
Okay. All right.
Let's pick this up tomorrow, shall we? Are you gonna keep going? Let's pick this up tomorrow. Yeah.
Let's do this tomorrow. What time tomorrow?
I really don't have much going on until the afternoon, so maybe 11ish in the morning.
Okay,
I'll try to make it down here by 11.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah.
Maybe the next couple days, 11ish.
All right.
Let's do that. We should do layman's philosophy on Wednesday too.
Yeah, we'll do a layman's philosophy. Okay, so everybody, so we're talking about.
Thank you, everyone.
10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or no, 11 o'clock?
10 o'clock. 11 o'clock this time, 10 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast of the U.S.
Right. 10
Eastern time.
Yeah. 8 o'clock.
And then
Pacific,
it would be,
or something like that.
yeah, 7 Pacific, wouldn't it be 3 hours
7,
behind?
okay, 7 Pacific. There you go. 7 Pacific. Anyway, look for us.
Thanks, Dan. Sorry about the quick
Jeff.
one, but
no worries. Okay,
man.
see you tomorrow.
Great.